When did you find out you were your family's dirty little secret? My entire life unraveled when my oldest sister sat me and my younger sister down to explain why we weren't invited to her wedding. Mom and Dad want you both to skip it, she said with tears streaming down her face. I laughed because obviously we were invited, but she wouldn't look at us. Our second sister stood behind her as our parents walked in looking defeated. Your grandparents will be there, our mother said quietly. My brain short-circuited because our grandparents died in a car accident before we were born. What grandparents? I asked, and the silence that followed filled the entire house. My father finally spoke. Your grandparents are alive. They live 15 minutes away. They just don't know you and your sister exist, and you were never supposed to know they existed either. They'd been alive my entire 20 years, living 15 minutes away in a mansion I'd driven past hundreds of times. Our father explained in a dead voice that his family owned a manufacturing empire worth hundreds of millions, but had one rule going back 4 generations. Every couple must produce a male heir within 3 children or lose their inheritance. After our second sister was born, they had one more chance. The ultrasound showed a boy, and they celebrated with champagne. When you came out female, we had 10 minutes between the delivery room and my parents arriving, my mother told me, and my face went gray. 10 minutes to decide between poverty and deception. We couldn't tell them you were a girl or we'd lose everything, so we hid you and said our son needed intensive care. For 2 years, they maintained the fiction with excuses about immune problems while desperately trying for another child. We thought if we had a boy quickly, we could present him as our 3rd child who'd finally recovered, but your sister came out female too, and then we were truly trapped. When my younger sister turned out to be another daughter, they gave up any hope of coming clean and told the family their son had drowned during a nap, holding a funeral with a tiny white coffin, while I stayed hidden at a neighbor's house. You buried an empty box and cried over it while I was playing with toys 2 miles away? My voice cracked. After the fake funeral, they moved neighborhoods and told us our grandparents died in a car accident, devastated by grief. My younger sister was born into a family that had already erased 1 child and never even told the grandparents a 4th daughter existed. Every Christmas when our older sisters supposedly volunteered at hospitals, they were at the family estate, opening presents worth more than our car. Every summer at their academic camps, they were sailing on our grandfather's yacht. Remember when I couldn't go to your piano recital because of food poisoning? Our second sister asked me quietly. I was at Grandma's 70th birthday party. The betrayals kept spilling out like poison. The scholarship our oldest sister won was family money. The camp that discovered our second sister's talents was a family program we couldn't access. While my younger sister and I shopped at thrift stores, they had secret credit cards they kept at friends' houses. We wanted to tell you, our oldest sister said, but I cut her off with a laugh like breaking glass. When exactly? When you were picking out your 3rd car while I took the bus? When you complained about your trust fund manager while I worked doubles to pay for textbooks? The wedding had made their 20-year performance impossible to maintain. Half the town's elite were invited, including business partners who knew the grandparents intimately. So your solution is we just disappear? I asked. We sit in a hotel room while you toast champagne with grandparents who think I'm dead and don't know she exists? My father finally looked up. After the wedding, we were going to tell them you were adopted cousins we took in and gradually integrate you into the family. The casual cruelty made me dizzy. They were going to demote us from daughters to charity cases. You were going to make us grateful orphans instead of your actual children? Our mother started crying. It was the only way to get you inheritance without admitting to fraud. My younger sister stood up with terrifying calm. You want us to not exist so badly? Fine, we'll stop existing. The next morning, she walked into our grandfather's office with our birth certificates. Your son has been lying to you for 20 years, she announced to the man who thought he only had 2 granddaughters. She's the granddaughter you held a funeral for, and I'm the one you never knew was born. Our grandparents disinherited my parents completely, and my parents disowned me and my younger sister, blaming us for destroying the life they'd built.